They had this girl, Amber Rose, to speak at the convention. Amber Rose, I don't know if you know anything about her. I didn't really. I had to go look her up.
The
At a
image
certain
of
point,
Jesus
yeah.
scares the shit out of me. And I know that I have like religious trauma from that. Yeah, images of Jesus, it scares me. I just think
Right, right.
it doesn't look like a figure or a person that I want to subscribe to, that I want to listen to. Knowing all the things that he's done within the Bible, that's not a person that I want to worship.
She applauded the Satanic Temple for their stance on abortion, for giving women options. March of 2024.
The most part, people who embrace Satanism were people who grew up in traditional Christian mainstream denominations, and they felt it was an oppressive environment or an oppressive belief system. And being able to look at blasphemous things in another light is very cathartic and liberating to them. It's very personally liberating for them, and that's kind of what makes it a religious experience, even though it's non-theistic.
Right.
They don't feel beholden to these superstitions anymore.
I watched Hail Satan. Amazing documentary, by the way. It was really good. And I was in a room with a Satanist. And like I was just a plain Jane atheist. And I was like, a Satanist? Do you worship the devil? I just had so many questions, right? And he literally it was the sweetest, nicest person ever. And just talked to me about everything Satanism. And I was like, how can I become a Satanist? This is amazing. Like, this is great. And it's completely changed my mind. And sometimes I don't, it's really kind of like a simple Google. There's YouTube channels. I mean, these people that like kind of just go in on you guys constantly. It's like you can it's easy to get this information and understand exactly what Satanism is. It's not that hard to comprehend. I don't understand the whole outrage behind it. I mean, anyone that has simple comprehension skills could say, okay, we get it. What do you think it is? Do you think they're just kind of stuck in like the Satan or the devil has consumed them so much through religion that they just can't even open their eyes and be like, it's really simple to see?
Well, the last one of our members said on the Hail Satan documentary, atheism defines what you're not. You know, for us, Satanism defines what we are. And it's not that we just kind of arbitrarily latched onto this iconography and said, you know, this really pisses these guys off. We're going to use this. You know, as I was saying about it being meaningful to us earlier, you know, that whole thing about having grown up in religious environments, having felt that superstition was a counterproductive aspect in their lives. Maybe they had a lot of guilt and fear because it does really put this kind of transcendent value on embracing the blasphemous. And I think that's just really what separates the Satanist from the atheist.
I absolutely love it. So can you tell me what's the actual philosophy behind Satanism for people that don't know?
People have looked at our 7 tenets, which are general and humanistic, and have said that, you know, what separates this from humanism, because we do uphold bodily autonomy as a tenet, and with that, we leverage our arguments for reproductive rights. We do believe in free speech, but we're not hypocritical about it, so it's not just one of those kind of conservative talking points about where we want to go and, you know, sometimes say, well, anybody can agree with those. What makes you different as a religion? And, you know, the fact that we embrace the blasphemy, the fact that we have these symbols, we have ritual events, we have this community in this kind of narrative context for everything we're doing, and put it all within this kind of religious calling to act as guardians against rising tyranny, wherever it may be.
Right. I get that. So if there was like a gathering of Satanists, right? And I was to come, what would we do on like a regular day? Or maybe like, do you guys have like a Satanist barbecue situation, or what are your gatherings?
There's different gatherings. There are some things that have the ritual component, but even with ritual, it's a very, it's a creative process. It's different. Christians really exist on a broad spectrum.
Totally.
You know, to some of your friends, their perspective of Jesus might be very similar to how we view this metaphorical construct of Satan. Right. You know, they'll look at the image of Jesus is overtaken by Bible thumping gun nuts who want to turn this into a theocratic nation, and it's just not going to be different for me. That's burnt into my mind.
Same.
That's, you know,
the image of Jesus scares the shit out of me, and I know that I have like religious trauma from that. Also, like just kind of getting into science and evolution and stuff like that. You know, I eventually turned into an atheist, but yeah, images of Jesus, it scares me. I just think it doesn't look like a figure or a person that I want to subscribe to, that I want to listen to. Knowing all the things that he's done within the Bible, that's not a person that I want to worship. And so that was the beginning of my atheist journey. It was very scary for me.
Yeah, maybe that's a way to describe it to some of the people with an opposing view. It's just, I mean, the way I see it, there's many Jesuses, and I met the wrong one.
Exactly.
But that's imprinted on me now.
Totally.
You know? And I do think that the 10 Commandments in the context of personal worship is a completely different thing than the 10 Commandments on public grounds. And the 10 Commandments on public grounds should scare everybody.
Absolutely. I agree with you, that whole political view. I agree with everything you just said. And that's why I'm a fan. Again, when I met the Satanists on Clubhouse, I was just like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. How come more people don't know about this? Is, you know, Satanism just, you know, I've been abused. I've been I've been tortured by people. And I got to the point where I was like, it's time for me to be selfish. I have to be selfish. That's the only way that I'm going to survive is if I put myself first. Then I meet the Satanist and he's like, Satanism is all about self. And I was like, oh shit, this is amazing. And so here we are talking now because I'm like, this is great. So if I were to
You gotta keep things fun.
yeah, absolutely. And it looks fun. Like when I was watching Hail Satan, I'm like, this looks fun as hell.
Yeah, everybody thinks legitimacy means you can't be having fun at all, and that's just not. I can't live that life. You know, I've given up enough as it is. Don't ask me to walk away from fun when it's there to be had.
Totally. So if someone wanted to become a Satanist, right? Let's say whatever state they're in, is there some type of website where, I don't know if you wouldn't necessarily sign up, but like to find a community? Do you have like a website where, you know, people can kind of find a community?
Recognizing non-theistic religions as legitimate, I think we'll see a lot. I think we'll see non-theistic Christians making themselves known. I think a lot of people really do just view Jesus as this idea of the golden rule, be good to each other. This is the character of Jesus kind of thing.
Right.
And they don't necessarily believe that any moment now, you know, a
he's going to come down in his chariot.
Yeah, right.
That's what my mom believes. I'm like, Mom, girl, come on. Well, I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-choice. If you ever need any help from me, let me know. I'm there. I'm ready to fight for the cause. And thank you so much for doing this. This has been really amazing. Absolutely. Well, let's keep in touch. I'm here for it. I'm down for the movement. I appreciate you. I love everything that you're doing. And I'm happy we got an opportunity to talk. And
so because she's now come over and she supports Trump, the Republican platform has given this famous woman, her being tied to Hollywood, and I guess she's an actress and a model, but she's a feminist. And boy, is she pro-choice. At least she was not that long ago, because she stood with the Satanic Temple. Well, what are we doing? What are we doing? Amber Rose can appeal to the young people, and Amber Rose can appeal to the moderates, and Amber Rose can appeal to the liberals who are also investigating and coming over and making a choice. So here's what we're doing now. We are dumbing down the platform and promoting immoral, godless people who support abortion. But then again, the platform, they now say that they are against late-term abortion. Well, isn't that exactly what the Democratic platform said not that long ago? Like, the Democratic Party has gone so far left. And the Republican Party knows that there's a lot of liberals who are disillusioned with that. So what a great opportunistic time to compromise our values and our morals to pick up more votes. And the compromise, the extreme compromise. While pastors stand up there in the midst of it and, you know, oh, we have to vote for Trump, we have to save our country, and then they bring Jesus into it. But then they're mixing and mingling with Amber Rose, who was standing not that long ago, 4 months ago, in support of the Satanic Temple because of their stance on abortion, and she organized a slut march or walk, or what are we doing? What are we doing? This is the church of the Laodiceans. It's certainly not the Church of Jesus Christ. And it is grievous, but we continue, and we continue to share the gospel. Because however many people can be saved, that's where we are now. There is no saving America, but there are saving souls, so we continue.